members of the Pride, and welcome to Lion Plays Abandoned Ship. Now, Abandoned Ship has been described as FTL, but with pirates. It's basically a game, it's a tactical game where you are building your ship and you are taking off to become a pirate against an established kind of bad guy, which is basically sort of a cultist church of the Kraken. Or at least that's kind of what I gathered. Basically, the world is sort of like made up of a bunch of islands, and it's almost an entirely big ocean. And I guess the Kraken is this sort of godlike creature, and there's an entire cult that worships it. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and just do the main campaign here. And I am going to go ahead and just do the tutorial. This will be Squeaking Lion. And we'll just make the difficulty normal. We won't do Iron Captain. Play it sure, why not? No, and what the heck. If anybody's interested in this seed, there you go. This isn't going to be a full series, of course. This is just a Lion's Play. But if anybody's interested, there you go. So, let's give it a try. A wild chorus, the birth of a monster. In that moment, the final strand is cut. A burst of clarity. The horror of your recent existence dawns upon you. Escape is all you can think of. The tentacles flail wildly in the water. People drop to their knees, some through fear, others with adulation. Their god is manifest. You watch from a position of privilege on a private balcony. You notice your two bodyguards are distracted and enraptured. Instinctively grabbing something, you smash it down on the head of the first guard. Shocked surprise registered on the second before he too is down. You're unsure whether they're dead or unconscious. You feel a drip from your fingers. You look down at your improvised weapon, a small idol of father. It is cracked and has cut your hand. You're drifting, but something inside you snaps back to reality. You have to move fast. The cells offer the safest route to freedom. You stride into the prison with feigned authority. No matter. The place is unguarded in their moment of triumph. Escaping alone would be futile, so you grab the keys from the guardroom and approach the prisoners. Who will you unlock first? So at this point, you get to pick basically your crew that's going to join you on your ship at the very beginning. I am thinking, let's see, what's a good one? I think we should do, I'm thinking we should do a marine, here we go, a marine fighter, a navigator, and let's see, a gunner or a sailor, repair or better shooting. Let's do better shooting. What the heck? And we are known as the Severed One. You and your companions surge through the labyrinthine passages. Finally, a door. Light seeps in through the cracks in the frame. Burst through the door. You close your eyes for a moment as the sea breeze brushes your face. Looking down the winding path ahead, you see what you had hoped for. A ship at anchor. It was likely stolen, repurposed by the cult. Time to put it to better use. So, I kind of like the way it opens up like that, because it kind of allows you to build out your particular setup in a role-playing manner. I like it. So, we can select crews by left-clicking on them and then right-clicking to where you want them to go, or you can highlight them all and put them all in, like that. Board the ship. Yes, we did. And cut the ropes, which means we need to grab him, to grab there, and that, and then do that there. And we are cut. Alright, man the wheel. I'm going to put our navigator at the wheel, because our navigator is the best at navigating, right? We have me here as our captain, the Severed One. He's pretty much kind of like a jack of all trades, really good at everything. Dozens of furious cultists charge the jetty as you pull away, a high priest at their head. His scream reaches your ears and drips with scorn. Heed me, betrayer. Our Father knows and sees you always. You will never escape his embrace. As he speaks, the other cultists disperse, no doubt to begin their pursuit on their own vessels. They'll be sending ships after us. Let's get out of here. And this is the game itself. The coastal fortifications open fire on the ship as it leaves the jetty. Mortar shells incoming. All right, now we're going to try to avoid. Now, even though, now this is obviously a programmed event because it's a tutorial. Nothing hit us at all. I moved everything out of the way. But, you know, hey, whatever. A mortar shell has reduced a crew member to 0 health. When this happens, they become incapacitated and gain a negative physical trait. Once incapacitated, you have a short time to stabilize them. When a crew member is stabilized, they will remain unconscious throughout the battle, but will survive. If you do not stabilize them in time, they will die. This is a very easy thing to do. I did play a game of this just to kind of get an idea of what to do with the game. And that's no joke. When your guys go down, it doesn't take long before they just die. You got to get somebody to stabilize them fast. And in the heat of battle, that can be a real hassle. If you do, okay, but don't worry. In this one instance, we'll freeze the timer before it runs out. So thank you. Okay, so stabilize the crew. Now, I have paused the game. That way, it makes it a lot easier for me to assign who to do what. And yeah, we're just going to have, let's see, I'm going to grab our captain and have him stabilize. Right. The barrage has damaged the ship hull. In the bottom left of the screen is a bar that shows the hull health. That's this right down here. If this bar is empty, then the ship will sink. And hull health can only be repaired at a dock. So keep an eye on this. It continues to steadily go down and down and down as throughout multiple battles. So you really have to watch that. The ship is divided into sections, as you can see down here. During combat, in the bottom right of the screen, the sections and their individual health are displayed. Section health influences the performance of everything in that section. Yellow health means it's 50% effective. Red health means it won't function at all. So, in order to... Here, I'll go ahead and pause this. In order to get us moving again, we need to repair this. Now, normally, I would assign a sailor to do this because sailors are the best at repairing. However, I chose not to take a sailor this time, so we're going to go ahead and once again put our captain on it. As a matter of fact, I think we can put all of us on it. Yes, we can. So we're just going to quickly get that repaired, and you can see down here that it repaired this. Okay. Healing crew. There's this thing over here. We can click all that, and we can right-click on this, and they'll come over to this little healing bench, and everybody will attempt to heal themselves up. As you can see, however, this guy is still down. He's incapacitated. There's just nothing to it. It's not over yet. Take cover! And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to... Oh, my navigator is down. So, you know what? I'm going to have our captain come over and take over for the navigation so that we can keep moving. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but what the heck. Alright, we've been hit by a weapon that causes hull cracks. These splinter the deck and make the ship take on water. There's a water gauge above the hull health. If this reaches the top, the ship will sink. Now, it's hard to see, but right above this green line, there's this gray line here, and this is a little bit of water. That's because we're taking on water. So, listen out for the ship's bell. This will warn you when your water gauge has reached critical levels. The bell will also sound when your hull health is dangerously low. Act decisively when you hear the bell, or you may sink. Also, you may have noticed that when I put our captain over here, this used to be yellow and now it's green. That's because as long as there's anybody is manning any given area. They will repair as well as do what they're going to do. So if I put somebody on the cannons over here and the cannons are damaged, they will be fixing the cannon while they are firing the cannon. So it's kind of a neat little thing there. So let's take this guy, and you can see these little things right here. These are the hull cracks. And we'll just put this over here, and these guys will run over. And as you can see, we're slowly taking on water. But they went ahead and fixed it. All right, emptying the water gauge. You can lower the water level by manning the pumps at the back of the ship. As you can see, we fixed the hull cracks and the water is done. We don't necessarily have to pump out the water immediately anyway. It really isn't a big deal until you until it starts getting really, really full. Usually I'll wait until like it gets about halfway before I worry about it. Because most of the time, unless you just have an enormous amount of damage and you just can't keep up with the hull cracks, or you just lose a ton of crew or whatever, the battle will often be done long before this is a problem. But we'll go ahead and have these guys go over here and pump out the water. There we go. We're nearly out of range. One more barrage incoming. And crack. Alright, now as you can see, we have fire. We've been struck by a weapon with flaming ammunition, and a fire is broken out. Fires damage sections and injure crew. They will spread unless your crew extinguishes them. This is a real thing. If you don't pay attention to those fires, you could lose your ship, because that fire spreads pretty fast. So we're going to pause real quick, and we're going to have this guy put that out. And boy, it is sometimes very hard. There we go. And put that out. Sometimes it can be really hard to click on the crew person themselves. So which is why I usually will like actually pause the game when I'm trying to do that, because it's really easy to just not, I mean, the way the ship is built, it's real easy for them to be in a position where you just can't do it. All right, click on the highlighted button to go and to the exploration map. In other words, we're going to leave the combat map here. All right, now we are in great danger while you are so close to the cult fortress. Leave the area quickly. And the way you do this is exploration mode. You can either hold down the left mouse button and just click, you hold it down and it'll go wherever you do it, or you can left click or right click, sorry, and you'll be out of the area. As you can see, since I was there, they were shelling me, and I was slowly losing health. Kind of have to be careful of that. All right, so view the map. This is the entire map button. You can also use your scroll button to scroll in and out of the map. This is a map of the immediate area. The surrounding frame marks the limits of your exploration. Beyond them lies tumultuous seas far too dangerous for a captain to travel or to return from. Reach new areas by navigating through well-mapped, safe passages known as gates. You must now escape through the gate currently highlighted at the bottom of the screen. For now, the others cannot be opened. This personally feels really dumb to me. I mean, honestly, we're in a great big ocean, and I have to go through these gates in order to go to different parts of the ocean. I understand that you have to, you have to regulate it somehow, but this to me feels really forced and not believable at all. I mean, why can't I just exit through any part of this side, and I'll end up in whatever the next section is on that side? Maybe it's easier for programming. I won't pretend to understand the details, but this gate thing, I don't like it. It just seems really silly. Okay, so you click this to go back to it. You can also, I'm going to go ahead and just scroll. You can use the scroll button, and you can do it that way too. Navigate over the gate at the bottom of the map. Use the button to view the whole map if you need to remember where it is. I can do that. But you will find that it is very, 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 very smart to navigate the entire map of where you are. That's because things hide on these maps, such as that right there. I just got some cargo. Very useful. Basically, that cargo is money in the game. When it comes to like currency in the game, they don't have like gold and silver or anything like that. They just use cargo, and you can trade cargo for whatever it is you need to purchase. So it's something of a bartering system, except that you're not really bartering. They just say it costs X amount of cargo. So we're just going to take a few minutes, and we're going to kind of just look around. We're going to cover as much as possible, because it's possible that you will find cargo. It's possible you'll find things that will fix your ship. Here's some more cargo. Oops. There we go. And this is all procedurally generated. You have no idea what's going to be on any given map. So you could find a large number of very useful items if you're willing to take the time and explore explore the map in its entirety. Now, just because you find something doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it, unless unless like the quest specifically says. For example, you can see the gate is locked. Locked gates can be opened by completing a set number of events. The event markers, there is an event marker at the gate. Left click on it to sail into it. Now, I could go into this marker right now and it will trigger a given event, but as you can see, there's more stuff, and we just fixed. You see the damage got fixed. It's very, very handy to explore the entire map, just to make sure that you're not missing anything. And resources are scarce. They are, and it's designed to be. You're not supposed to have an easy time at this. I mean, I played this game for like about 3 or 4 hours, and constantly trying to upgrade my ship, and I still found myself constantly struggling to survive. So it's a challenging game. A patrolling cult ship has stumbled upon us. Man the guns! We owe them no mercy. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pause here, because this is where things are going to get a little more complicated. It will explain how things work. I already kind of know how things work, so I'm just going to get started on it. Come on, why are we not? Why am I not? Why am I not? Can I not? Maybe I can't do that. Does it have to be you there? Why? Maybe I'm just not able to do it right now. Tell you what, I'm just going to move you over here. Maybe it'll let me do it in a minute. So you've got your various cannons, your chain shots, and your grape shot. I can talk. And each one of these, and your main cannons, of course, and each one of these things does a different thing, and they're going to go through the tutorial right now. Remember the lessons you have learned so far. All right, manning weapons. Man the cannons facing the enemy. One crew can man an entire battery of cannons. So our captain will man this. Our gunner here will man this. And as you can see, like, this is a battery, that is a battery of cannons. Weapon reloading. Weapons will reload if someone is manning them and the section health is not red. Keep the cannons manned until their reloading turns blue. Oh, okay. Now, as you can see, we just got a hull crack. So we're going to have our guy over here run over here and start fixing it. Also, you can see that our gunner here is fixing the damage that was done. You also see that this thing is now blue. You may have noticed that the cannons, they started out white and they just kind of started slowly going to blue. Now it says you can left click on the weapon button to select it. it will turn into a crosshair, and you move it over the ship and right-click to confirm. So what you do, you left-click, and then you choose where on the ship you want to fire. Now, if you look over here, keep your eye on this. You can see where the red is highlighting. This is where you're aiming your guns. And you can decide where you want to fire your guns. What the heck, let's just go ahead and fire at the cannon section there. And click on that, and we'll just fire at the cannon section. Or what the heck. This is a kind of a scripted event, so let's go ahead and fire. Boom, 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 crash. Look at how much damage we're doing. Auto fire. You can set a weapon to auto fire by right-clicking on the weapon button. That is right there. And boom, and pausing the game, which I already know about pausing. So we'll just do that to get that going. Once you dismiss this message, you can issue orders while the game is paused. Make use of this if things are spiraling out of control. The heck with spiraling out of control, I make use of it anyway. So, crew specialities. Each crewman has a specialty. A crewman assigned to their specialist role will confer bonuses. This efficiency will often mean the difference between glory and the briny depths. So, for example, we have our Marine over here. He is very good at hand-to-hand fighting. So, if we board them or they board us, he's the best at being able to do hand-to-hand fighting. He, of course, is our navigator. He's very good at running the ship. And we're going to go into maneuvers and such like that in a second. Oh, wait, what are we doing? Why are we not unpausing? What's going on? Hover over... Oh, that's right, I have to hover over the assignment things. As you can see, the gunner is good at accuracy and... Oops. And at reloading. So, and each one of these guys has a different ability that they're very good at. Okay, active pause. You can hover the mouse over any object, for example, like that. And then we'll just unpause. Distance bar. Okay, so we want to get close to the enemy ship. The distance bar over here is how far you are away from them. You can set your target distance by clicking on the target buttons. I'm not exactly sure what this is like boarding range, close range, mid range, far range. So different weapons operate at different distances. For example, our grape shot here is only going to work at close maximum range, but these cannons can fire at pretty much any range. And so can this. This can operate at any range. But there are other weapons like mortars that mortars can't operate at close range or boarding range. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and click on this to get close. And here we go. Now we can go ahead and man this. Swivel guns, chainsaw. The enemy wants to keep their distance, so they're moving away from you. In the top right of the screen is the enemy section health. That's right over here. And that's the main hull health. This is the section health. The chain shot strikes the masts, which is that. So let's go ahead and do this, and we'll go ahead and keep firing on the enemy ship here. And I've got it on automatic firing, so this they should just keep on blazing away over there. Alright, so this is now been attacked. There's only one thing that this particular gun can fire at, and that's at the mast. So we right-click on the mast section, and yeah, it can only aim at sails, but it does high damage. And watch over here. Yes, see how it just crunched that real good? And it slowed the ship. You can see we're slowly closing in. Alright, well, I guess they want us to fire at least one more time. Okay, so Oh, I've got it on auto fire. All right, so it has fired. That'll go ahead and do that. Now, here's the swivel guns. The grape shot damages the crew, and that's the only thing that it does damage. So we'll take our captain over here. We'll move him over to the grape shot, and we'll go ahead and load that up. We'll keep doing Oh, actually, I guess we want to take this off because the masts are destroyed. So, oh, actually, no. You come over here and fix this. And we'll wait for this. All right, so we right-click on this, and as you can see, you can choose where you want the grape shot to land, and you just right-click on it and watch the health here. All this green that's surrounding them. Watch the health. Bam. See, it does a moderate amount of damage. There are definitely weapons that will do more damage to the crew, but killing the crew is kind of what you want to do, because there's several different ways to beat any given ship. One of them is killing the entire crew. The other is to flat out just sink the ship. And I don't think it matters which one happens, because I think you get the same reward regardless. I think. I'm not entirely sure about that. All right, so charging the maneuver bar. Now down here is the maneuver bar. It's like this little gray thing right here. And you can do this to basically do this this enemy ramming. And as you can see, it's currently filling up right now. We're blazing away. In fact, let's not accidentally sink anything. Let's just come over here so we're not firing our cannons anymore. That way we're not going to accidentally ruin this. You come over to here, and we are about to ram this ship. So let's go ahead and there we go. There's the ram that is highlighted. Now that it's fully charged, maneuvers become available. When you're ready, you ram. And you go, click that, and it charge. Now, every time you charge, you have to brace. Because if you don't brace for impact, all of your crew is going to get knocked over and conk out, and they're not going to be ready to go. Also, I noticed that this is charged, so we're going to go ahead and fire that as well. But we're going to want to, as you can see, failing the test means the crew falls to the test, temporarily interrupting what they're doing. When a brace occurs, the highlighted button becomes active. Press it in time, otherwise you'll fail the test. So, boom. And there we go. We shot them, and bam! The enemy failed their brace test. The impact even caused one of their crew to be knocked overboard. This, by the way, can happen to you. Always try to be the rammer, not the rammee. And by the way, if they try to ram you, you can hit the brace button and you'll be okay. They can man. There is a winch over here which allows you to be able to recover anybody who's been knocked overboard. So that's just something to pay attention to. Now finish them off. You can pull back and keep shooting, or at this range you can even choose to board them. You can triumph by killing all of the crew, destroying the hull, or making it take on too much water. Keep the pressure on the enemy, dictate the battle, and make sure they're reacting to you, not the other way around. And we're just to show you shipboard combat, I'm just going to highlight my whole team here. And what the heck, let's have you all attack this guy. And they leap over, dun, 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 and they start chopping him up, and then we'll pause and have everybody attack him, and everybody is hacked to pieces, and we survive. Now, I could at this point, if I wanted to, I could start doing, like repairs and healing on my crew, but actually it happens automatically once you leave combat. As you can see, you're able to salvage anything of value. This is what we salvaged. You don't need to worry about repairing your sections or healing your crew. It happens automatically. As long as you have water pumps, you'll also be able to go... you'll also empty your water gauge as well. So that's kind of nice too. And now that we have opened this area, we can now move through to the next section, which in this particular case is only going to go to the next area. You announce to the crew that you need to take stock and are not to be disturbed. In the captain's cabin, you find some clean clothes, most likely belonging to the poor previous occupant before the cult had their way with the ship. It feels good to finally be out of your flowing ceremonial robes. You stow them neatly away, knowing that it may yet have their use. Examine yourself in the mirror. At this point, you can decide what you look like. I have already kind of chosen that I want to look like this guy because this is the way I looked in the other one. You can decide what your name is. We can be Captain Lion. And confirm. You reemerge onto the deck and the crew snaps to attention. We may have escaped, you begin, but we're not yet safe. We must make port, then go our separate ways. It's me thereafter. You return to your cabin and slump into a chair. Moments later, a strong undercurrent of exhaustion pulls you into a deep sleep. Now, as you can see, this kind of tells a story of like what's going on with you, and also at the same time explains the general world you live in. So it's kind of cool that way. I'm gonna take a quick sip of my tea here. I'm having chai tea with French vanilla cream in it. It's kind of nice. Still loved and always in his thoughts. You were the first. But he knew something within you had changed. Thus you were marginalized. Became a symbolic icon with no real power. You didn't care. Something in you was gaining strength. Little by little, the fog was clearing. And that takes you into the next area. A sharp knock on your door snaps you awake. Moments later, you stride back on deck with two issue commands. The cult fortress is far from inhabited lands. We'll need to navigate through open waters before we can find a port. Alright, and this will... click highlight button to see your ship. That's right. This will basically allow you to come here. This is the lone ship view. This allows you to change your default settings that are used in combat. In other words, where you put your guys right now and where you have your settings set will be where you will always try to start getting to from the very beginning. So if I click this, my ship is going to constantly try to, because my navigator is constantly going to try to get us in close range. I am always going to want my gunner on the guns. I am always going to want my captain on the guns. And I am always going to want my marine on the chain shot in order to damage their sails. As much damage as we can throw on, on their sails so that we can close in and start kicking their butt, the better. Or conversely, if I didn't want to, I could just go back to far range, say the heck with all this stuff, and we could keep shooting their sails so that they couldn't close with us, and we could just blaze away with the cannons and just sink them. This is also a very useful and viable way of doing of fighting. As a matter of fact, later on, when you get more long-distance weapons, this can be an extremely valid tactic. But since we're going to go ahead and just start with these guys in their current positions, and we click that right there, and they are saved. So if you ever need to return, we can. So if I, the highlighted button can be used. Oh, yes. Okay, so if there's ever a time where you find yourself, for example, let's say instead of the enemy coming over on this side, they come down over on this side, but all of your guys are over here. If you could switch everything to the other side, but what if all of your most powerful cannons and all of your greatest power and your strength is on this side? Yikes. you could hit this button right here, and basically you would flip the ship around so it's facing the other direction. It's slow, so fair warning. Now, the reason why we saved our positions is if I do this, well, now we're all out of position. I could do one by one and put it all back, or I can just click that button and everybody goes back to their default positions. I kind of like that. So when you're ready, press the thing. Personally, I generally just tend to like scroll in and out and just use a scroll button. Okay, there is a lighthouse in the distance. Let's click on that. Hey, look, there's the lighthouse. Lighthouses have their surrounding fog of war removed, so they are visible. And if you click, come on, can I move, please? You must continue trying to escape the cult by fleeing this exploration map, locate the exit gate, and complete the number of events to unlock it. If you sail to the lighthouse first, that will help you explore the area, which I'm trying to do. If you'll just give me a second and let me get over there. You can come over to here, and boom, you have discovered that, and we'll just scroll out, and as you can see, we have uncovered the entire map, including like things that can fix your, fix your boat, get you cargo, things like that. And we'll go ahead and just do a couple more things before we end the episode, but that's the general gist of the game. You are basically roaming around trying to... Well, actually, you know what? We're going to save that healing thing. You are roaming around, and you are going to try to encounter the cult and defeat them where you can. Try to survive as long as you can. Go to different ports and things like that. We are going to come over here and grab... I saw a little fishing thing, which is food. Let me show you that real quick. Where is it? There it is. So this right there, that's a little fishing spot. As you can see, that's food. This is your cargo. In other words, your money. Well, it says gold. Oh, they changed it to gold. It used to say cargo, so that's cool. This is the amount of supplies you have. This is the morale of your crew. This is the captain's logs. In other words, now that is an aspect of the game that they haven't gone over yet, and they won't go over it for a long time. And I'm not gonna go that far into this game. But you can only save at very specific points in the game, and you do that by gathering up things called captain's logs. And then once you have a captain's log, you can go to a port and save your game. And so when you die, you can go back to that save. But that's the captain's logs are very, very limited. You only get a couple of them in the game. And because it's designed to make this as difficult as possible, they don't want it to be an easy game for you. So if you could just save before every little battle, you'd never lose. So they make it a much more difficult proposition. So we're going to do over here, we're just going to complete this, this little event right over here, and we're going to probably fight a battle, and then I think we're going to call it an episode. So the teeth. The teeth. Your early days as a cultist come to mind. Days spent testing the shape and strength of your newfound devotion. Racked by existential doubt, you threw yourself from the pinnacle, like so many acolytes after you, into the rocky waters below. You emerged reborn, ignorant of the legend your rite of passage would become. Coming back to your senses, you notice a body bobbing in the water. Only the most fanatical or sadistic would still force neophytes under their tutelage to prove their love for father in this way. Do you wish to investigate? Sure. The motionless body confirms your suspicions. The initiate is dead. The current has them pinned against some rocks, and you notice the crabs have feasted well at their expense. Now that was different than the last time I did this. That is something I really like. In that the events that happen are genuinely random, even during the tutorial. Now, it says escape through the gate. Oh, well, then that just means I can just run right to the gate, right? And I can just get out. Well, no. As you can see, these gates won't open until a certain number of events have occurred, which means we need to, there's only three more events, plus, we can fix, but there's only 3 more events to happen when, hey, what do you know, we need 3 more events to happen. So let's zip down to one of these, and I have no idea what's going to happen because every time it's different. It could be a battle, or it could just be something that happens. A small speck on the horizon, and it's moving. You sense the foul energies of the cult long before you confirm their flying colors. It's headed towards the cult fortress, so you doubt it has business tracking you down. So nothing happened. So it wasn't after you. So there it is. It wasn't after you, so it didn't pursue you. All right. A cult ship has been doggedly pursuing you for a while now. It's small, but light, and it's slowly gaining. Through the spyglass, you see a familiar face manning the helm, and your heart sinks. Samuel's parents were some of your first initiates, and when they perished, you ensured the orphan was well looked after. Even after all these years, you imagine he still looks up to you. You remember proudly watching as he was given command of his first ship. It didn't matter that it was a raggedy, workman-like vessel. The same ship pursues you now, though he has clearly upgraded it in the meantime. What does he seek? Knowing Samuel, he probably has questions. You slow the ship, allowing him to move closer. Now, I've seen this event before, 3 different times. All 3 times it's had different outcomes. So it's I like that there is a real random element to what could potentially happen. Samuel, no thanks to you, was always devout, so you're not sure what you can say that will sway him to your cause. But there is a bond there, one you might yet use to save him. You watch as his ship closes, his expression unreadable. Once within hailing range, he doesn't slow. It is then you realize your sentimentality has cost you. Samuel has only retribution in his heart. He probably thinks he's redeeming your soul. You resign yourself to battle. So it looks like we're going to have to fight him in this round. In other times, it hasn't worked that way. There have been other times that event has come up where we've had a conversation. So, wow, they're trying to get away. Oh, I'm trying to get away. That's right, I had this set for away. All right, no problem. We'll just, okay. Well, let's see. What do we want to do? We want to, you know what? We're going to try to prevent him from firing back at us. So we're gonna target his cannons here, and this can only target the sails. So we'll just go ahead and keep pounding away to make sure that he cannot. He's going to have a hard time getting back at us. And question: do we want to just keep pounding away at him until we get to this, or what do we want to do? Okay, so we're not worried about that. He is firing. You know what? I think we're going to go ahead and close. And as you can see, our navigator here is trying to pull us in, and we should be able to close in because we're damaging his mast, even though right now we can't see it because we're too far away. Now, let's say that should help. Yep, that did. Yep, as you can see, we have been damaging his thing for a while. Oh, okay. So we have our own sails are starting to get damaged. So I'm going to have the captain come over here and start working so that we can keep closing the distance. And these guys, as a matter of fact, I think you are going to change to hit the sails and see if we can't just utterly destroy those sails. Yeah, see, that's helping a lot. He's, oh, yeah, it's alright if they damage the other side. I don't care about that too much. Alright, so you are good. I'm going to have you go back to here. And if you keep damaging the sails. Alright, and it does look like we are ready to go. If we wanted, we could charge in and ram them, and I'm thinking maybe that's what I want to do. If we wanted to, we could also flee. We could just get on, hit this button and flee, and there are times you're going to want to do that, believe me. Or, as I said, you could also flip yourself around and face the other way. That's what this button is. So let's go ahead and ram him. And brace! And alright. At this point, there's no point in navigation. We're just gonna roll over there and we're gonna start wiping the floor with them here. And kill their... Oh. Yep. Say we're gonna kill the... Oh, okay. So apparently the damage that was caused was enough to actually sink the ship. So we didn't even have time to kill off the crew. Now, as you can see, we have some pretty severe damage on some of this, but it's okay because as soon as we get back to the exploration mode, it's all going to get healed up again. You could see the look of betrayal in Samuel's eyes. He would not surrender, nor give up until you had paid for your transgression. As he fell, the look on his face said it all. Why? You can't ever remember having family, and friendships are not encouraged in the cult, but Samuel was dear to you. You can't stay here, and as you tell the crew to forget about the salvage, you struggle to keep your voice level. Now, even though your entire crew just went down with the other ship, don't worry, your guys are not dead. It's a little disconcerting, but if you leave combat, you're right back. All of your crew survived, even though they were on the sinking ship, so don't worry about that. You drop to your knees. It feels like a lightning storm inside your skull, and you sense a massive, ancient intelligence emerging from it. Scanning the horizon, you see an unnatural disturbance in the water, and it's approaching. Fast. Full speed ahead. Alright. Oh, and, whoa, there it is! Doggone it, that was my fault, sorry. I scrolled away. I was going to see if I could get out and see where it was coming from to get away from it, but you can't. You can't avert your eyes as the royal closes the distance. Whatever it is will be upon you in mere moments. And want to take a wild guess as to what it is? Oh, well, you don't have to guess. It's the Kraken. Now, this is the god beast. And honestly, you can't win. You can't fight it. You can't beat it. As part of the overarching story, you have to find out ways to be able to fight the Kraken. But when you first start off, you don't have a chance. You will die if you try to fight it. You don't even have the ability to do so. Oh, I'm sorry for sniffing. So you are not prepared to best such a beast. Fight it off and flee. When your maneuver bar is full, press the flee button to initiate your desperate retreat. The bar around the button will fill up. Once it's full, your ship will successfully flee the area. So, as you can see, it is slowly building up. This guy is building up. Now, this, I'm going to bring all these guys to the center, because this, the Kraken just rises up, and bam! Now, I was gonna say, the little helpful hint here tells you what you got to do. Me personally, I keep my guy, my navigator, on the navigation, because this needs to fill up as fast as possible, because this thing can tear your ship to pieces if you're not fast. So you click each one of your crew here to start attacking the various tentacles. And for this particular time around, you were lucky. Getting one or two of them made it release your ship. In future battles, that won't happen. You have to attack all of the different tentacles and have them all release before it'll give up. So, just a heads up, it's a real problem that you face. I, again, like to have my guys kind of center of the way there, so that they are available to just go wherever I need to, because there's those tentacles could land anywhere on your ship. All right, so go here and here and here. All right, yeah. So since this is the tutorial, they're kind of giving us the the easy mode. Since typically you have to attack all of the tentacles before he'll let go. Now flee before it attacks again. If you don't flee in time, you'll be repeatedly attacked. The bar will only charge if someone is manning the ship's wheel, and that's why I kept him there. All right, you have. Come on, you gonna let us go or what? Why? Oh, it's unmanned. Why is it unmanned? Stop that. And flee. Now, fleeing still takes time. So as you can see, it's got to build up. And we're not going to make it in time because I made a mistake and didn't have my guy on there. So we're going to have to do this one more time. And Oh, okay, so this time it's gonna make me fight them all. So that's not good. Come on, get in there. Get it. Okay, there we go. Now flee. Yes, we're gonna flee again. And so as you can see, it's charging up. And we're out of here. Just as it rematerializes to attack again. You've wounded the creature and escaped. Somehow you feel in your bones that the Kraken will need time to recuperate before it resumes the hunt. You should not dally. No, you should not, because it will kick your butt. And we're going to come over here and grab this healing thing, since we're a little damaged. There we go. And we have one more, and that's over here. And there we go. All right, the tension on the deck stings more than the dregs of a rum ration. 2 cult ships have been spotted in the mid-distance, moving to trap you. Our best, maybe only chance is to blitz the closest ship. I'm counting on you all, or make the gap between them both and put your backs into it for dear life. I've only ever tried to blitz the closest ship. I've never tried to just flat out escape. And it's whether this succeeds or not is random. You don't have any control over it. You have no idea. Even blitzing the closest ship may not work, and you may end up having to fight 2 guys at once. But we're going to try to just escape and just see what happens. The nearest ship moves to hem you in. The second circles around. You hold no faith that you'll escape this one. We'll never survive in an outnumbered, pitched battle, but if we hit the nearest vessel hard and fast, then just maybe. Crew, we can do this. Strive hard and keep the faith. Or, we've got to lighten the load. We can't drink if we're dead. Get anything we can spare overboard, even the grog. And you lose 30 food if you choose this. Let's go ahead and just fight them. And you know what? I keep meaning to change this, and this is my own fault. We're just going to go ahead and change that setting. That's my own silliness. I had meant to set that to close, and I am the silly. So we'll go ahead and do this final battle. And you know what? Once again, we're going to target. We're going to target the middle of the ship and that mast. And this is the only thing it can do. And they are all set for auto fire. So boom, 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 boom. And look at that. In a single round, we wrecked that mast pretty good. So we're able to close in pretty quickly. I gotta keep an eye open here because you never know when they might do hull crackers. Okay, there we go. See that mast go down? Oh, but they are fixing it. So we do have to pay attention to that. And give it a second. And okay, so we have a full bar. We're gonna go ahead and once again we're going to ram them. And brace. And bam! I'm going to go ahead and jump over here and get him. And everybody starts fighting each other. And let's go ahead and kill him. Chop, 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 hack, 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 hack. And chop, 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 hack, hack, hack. And we win. Everybody has their own different methods of winning, so, you know. We're already at battle stations. Take aim and let's make it a brace. We leave combat. The first ship is creaking into oblivion, but there's no time to salvage any spoils. The second ship is bearing down fast. Will you engage them, heady with the taste of victory, or retreat, safe in the knowledge you struck a valiant blow? Turn to face them. Oh, see, I need to change that. I have been silly about that. I really didn't want to pull away from them. I'll have to change that if I continue playing this game. But we will go ahead and fight this final battle. And always for the first round, even if you have the auto shots on, you have to give it a target. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there and wonder what to fire at. Even this one that only fires at the sails. You would figure that would just automatically target sails, but it doesn't, so oh well. Excuse me. I'm going to get a sip of my tea again. This did, yeah, I was going to say, that did target the main sails, right? Ah, so sometimes, even though you target the main ship, you're still going to be hitting something else. Okay, good to know. So, in this particular event, I think I'm going to come over here. And we're going to give them a shot of grape. We're not going to let them get away, though. We're going to keep firing on those sails and keep doing damage to here. But we're going to fire a shot of grape. Just oh boy. All right. No, you get over here, and you know what? You get over here. We don't want to. We've got 3 different cracks in the hull here. Let's click on that and let's shoot at them. And then we'll have you come onto here. Why is it doing that? Oh, it's because it's doing that. That's why. All right. So let's race for go for a ram. Highlight the crew.
Race!
And let's go ahead and attack. Oh, hey, I braced!
Man overboard!
What? Why did I go man overboard? I was braced! I am confused. Alright, quick, get over here. And, no, you get over here. Because I'm gonna need... I was gonna say, they're going down anyway. So, we got lucky. We need to pull our guy over. I wonder why that did. I could have sworn I hit the brace button, but I guess it didn't work. You have lived to tell the tale, and what a glorious tale it shall make. You mentally recount your success, etching the strategy into your reflexes. The crew are less circumspect, and busy themselves with the considerable salvage. All are drunk on the thrill, most are drunk on more besides. So, we got some good stuff. and we go ahead and escape. Now at this point we can go ahead and go through that last gate because we have completed all of the events in this area, and that opens the gate. And then from there you just continue on playing the game. You go to a port, you learn how to upgrade your ship, and you do a bunch of other stuff. It's just like any other type of FTL-like game. If you've ever played FTL, or if on another series that I've done on this channel, Shortest Trip to Earth, very much like that game as well. So if you like that kind of game, this is a lot of fun. It's kind of involved. There's a lot to it, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, and so. Thank you so much to Fireblade Games for sending me the key to this. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. And that's going to do it. So thank you. Let me try that one more time. That's going to do it for this particular episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, do the liking and the subscribing and the commenting down below. You guys are absolutely wonderful fans, and I truly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, everyone, always remember that anyone can be a mouse that roars, but it takes someone special to be a lion that squeaks. So embrace your inner lion and squeak on. Whew, you know, I'm not usually one for FTL-like games, but I'm starting to kind of get a taste for them. I mean, the last time I did one, it was pretty fun. This one's pretty fun. You know, I might like give some more FTL-type games a shot, just to kind of, I don't know, maybe I'll develop a taste for them.